Good morning, everybody. So, as you can tell, we have co-hosts. Brother Joe is he's froze over. The only way Joe has electricity is if he plugs in a battery and pedals hard. He's got nothing. He's got ice. I have pictures of that we will share. I am here it's not sunny today, but it's 55 degrees and drizzling rain. That's the worst that we've had out of this whole thing, which is awesome. And I understand you guys have a little different weather situation where you are in the northern tier. John is in South Carolina, which is now what I consider the northern tier state. Are you guys talking? Because I don't hear nothing again.
No, we haven't seen it.
We were waiting for you to finish.
Jump in. No, interrupt. Feel free to interrupt.
Yeah, from the frozen tundra of South Carolina this morning.
South Carolina.
Wow. I mean, we were all raised to not talk while the guy in the pulpit's speaking, right? So.
Well, I was usually playing with the girl's hair in front of me.
One of those guys.
Why do you think I sat in the back row? That's where the girls were.
Hair.
Yeah. No, she had long hair.
Him and Biden sniffing hair.
And we have another associate pastor coming in this morning because he pinged me this morning and said, "Hey, I can help out." And I said, "Well, come on, son."
The more the merrier, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Howdy, Matt. So I want to hear weather reports. John, what's the sitch in South Carolina at this point?
21 degrees, mild sleet right now. We had about half an inch of sleet overnight with a slight mix of freezing rain. Supposed to shallow off here for a bit and then come back with a vengeance about 3:00 this afternoon. We'll see.
Wow.
Yep. It's ugly.
It's 55 here. It's a miserable day. It's overcast like crazy and raining. And I think tonight it's supposed to get stupid cold here.
I will take that 55 and rain right now.
Yeah, it's compared to what most of the rest of you guys have. I'm good. Vince, what kind of weather is going on up in the northern tundra?
Current temperatures here, so I'm 2 time zones west of y'all, is -7 freedom units.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
It's supposed to see wind chill of -30 this morning. And the wind chill is supposed to drop off this afternoon, and it's supposed to hit about +15 freedom. So it's a wild ass swing.
Wow.
So I had plans to go find a picnic table somewhere in the mountains this morning, and I figured, no, the homeboy doesn't want to freeze his fingers off.
Right, or anything else that is important. Exactly. Joe Brett.
Oh, poor Joe, dadgummit.
Frozen and broken Mississippi. So let me jump in with some pictures for Joe. Yeah, look at that ice. I mean, that is epic. This is Joe's house. He sent these this morning.
Oh, dude.
That's
crazy.
Brutal.
And on this picture, and I don't know how well. Oh, well, and just for reference, that's my house this morning. Well, except now there's clouds, but.
A little sunshine.
How do you blur a
Suck,
gesture on StreamYard?
Boston Johnny.
Yeah. So poor Joe. I feel bad for him because he was the original co-host. That was the plan, and then things kind of went sideways with that.
We got your back, Joe. And
John, yeah, Boston Johnny is supposed to get about 2 feet of snow. I don't want to do. What are you doing, StreamYard? Why are we all small? That's weird. Okay.
That's what she said.
John, thank you for the.
Well, I am small, so yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, John. Yeah, John was telling me they're getting 20 plus inches of snow in the Boston area. I'm fine with 20 plus inches of snow right now. That means I ain't got to go to work for a week, but I'll skip the ice part. Holy mackerel. Matt, what have you got where you're at?
Well, I came to the sad realization that even something like plowing first thing in the morning isn't necessarily fun. We got 8 inches overnight. We got another 8 inches coming during the day today, and it's supposed to taper off at 10 p.m. But what they mean by taper off is we might only get another 2 to 4 inches after that.
Oh, now where are you?
We're Pittsburgh area.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they said 9 to 14. It's looking like it's going to be 14 and change for us.
Wow. Now Pittsburgh, though, see that everybody makes fun of Alabama when it snows, and I do too. I've been here 40 years. They don't have 0 salt trucks and 0.0. I mean, I want to be precise, not approaching 0. No snow plows and no salt. We get any snow here, the whole entire state is shut down.
No, we're equipped for it, and even 14 inches is definitely above average snowfall for Western.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Unless if you go up to Erie and you get into the Erie Buffalo stuff, they measure it in feet all the time. But,
oh my Lord.
We're definitely better prepared for 14 inches of snow than anywhere is for a half an inch of ice. No doubt.
Yeah. Well, and that was my point with Joe in Mississippi. It's like, and ice, what can you do? It's on the trees. It's on the power lines. You can't salt it even if you add salt.
You crack open the bourbon, throw a log on the fire.
Right.
That's your day.
Yeah, Joe said their power went out around midnight Central Time last night.
Yeah.
And, who knows when it's ever going to be on again. I mean, it could be
next Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a while.
I picked up one of those famous Chinesium diesel powered heaters.
That is on my to-do list.
As a backup plan, because that thing will run a month of Sundays on a 5-gallon jerry jug of diesel and the 100 amp hour LifePo that I got for the radio backup.
Pool 45 autos stuck in his dadgum RV.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a bad situation.
I had a interesting AI chat about those things, and it turns out if you're calculating BTUs, it doesn't matter what it says on the box for those things. They put out about the electrical equivalent of 4.5 kilowatts, maybe 5 on a good day. They market them anywhere from 5 up to 15 or whatever, but you're getting the exact same burner in all of them.
Yeah,
interesting.
I've discovered that plug-in electric heaters in a 12 by 24 shop are pretty much woefully inadequate.
Oh yeah.
When it gets that cold, I could feel slightly warm air coming out of the heater, but it doesn't reach anywhere else. It just dies of cold air before it gets there. I thought about one of the diesel heaters, though. Does that thing throw out a pretty good amount of...
It does, but BTUs are BTUs no matter where they come from. Right. So 12 by 24s, it's a little bigger than I got a 2-car garage. It's my shop downstairs. There's 7,000 watts of electric heat in there, 2 different 240 volt units. And if I run them both, it gets warm eventually, but you're talking about however many hundreds of square feet that is of concrete and cast iron between the garage floor and the tools.
Oh, thermal mass.
Yep.
Yeah. And it just, it takes a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, then the problem with the building, it's one of those portable buildings, and it's elevated off the ground. And I've never put it's only elevated 6 or 8 inches, 6 inches or 8 inches above the ground. Y'all didn't get that? It was a visual joke there. So that doesn't help. I mean, it's like 3/4 inch plywood floor, but that floor is always, not as bad as concrete sitting on the ground probably, but that floor is always ice cold in that place.
I keep thinking about putting a wood burner in there because I got scrap wood because it's a wood shop.
Right.
But what you really need when you've got that much thermal mass is to be able to keep it warm, or at least not ice cold, like all the time. So you're not starting from theoretical zero, right? Not temperature zero. When you decide you want to go out there and warm it up. And that means you need cheap fuel. So you're either going to live someplace where the electricity is nearly free, or have a gas well on your property, or a wood burner, or something that you can run all winter, at least a little bit.
Wow. That needs to be vented, obviously, right?
Yeah. There's little diesel heaters. They come with, it's about, 14 inches of quote unquote flexible exhaust pipe. Mm-hmm. So, and I bought the double walled port. so that I could just take a 2x4, drill a hole in it, and vent it out the window. But if you're going to order one, definitely order the double wall through whatever for your vent.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, order yourself additional exhaust pipe, because what comes in the box isn't anywhere near enough to get you near where you want to exhaust the fumes.
Yeah.
They also have a port you can take combustion air from outside instead of the room you're heating, but they use so little air, and you're almost always using them, in something like a shop or whatever that's leaky.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's necessary.
Yeah.
Nate said that a guy throwing out salt. That's exactly how we do it down here. Billy Bob and his cousin Leroy go to the grocery store, the Piggly Wiggly, and get a couple boxes of Morton and just drive down the road shaking it out as they go. We do not have road salt anywhere in this state. Probably 3 states away before you get to road salt. I don't know if Tennessee or Kentucky even has it. I'm not sure.
We do.
Do you?
Yeah, and they put down brine first, and then once they brine the roads, if it gets bad after that, they'll throw salt down or sand down. But we do have spreaders here.
And Scout is up in Wisconsin by where T.O. used to live.
Ooh.
And I was talking to Scout yesterday morning, and he said it's up to 8 degrees today. And I made a snarky comment like, "Ooh, a heat wave." Because, again, 55 and sunny yesterday. It was a beautiful day here. And he said, no, it's up 8 degrees more than it was. Now it's up to minus 17. And I'm like, oh, my God, no. Just no. There is not enough money in the world to get me to move up back to the north. I do not miss winter up there. Not at all.
Yeah, we got minus 10 coming overnight, Monday night into Tuesday morning. So right after the snow gets plowed away and cleared, we'll have the Arctic blast to deal with.
Well, we're supposed to be getting an Arctic blast today, too.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Tonight. Yeah. I think the concern here is, everything's wet, right? It's supposed to rain. Hell, we're supposed to have thunderstorms this afternoon. And then the temperature's going to drop like it saw a state trooper, and it's going to get down into the teens here, which it does a couple of days a year, but not long. But I think
woke up 10 degrees.
Huh?
It's now 11.
11?
Yeah, we're supposed to get down to 10 Monday night into Tuesday morning.
Wow.
Supposed to drop like a what?
Like it saw a state trooper.
A solid state trooper? Is that what I heard you say?
It's like it saw a state trooper.
Oh, it saw a state
yeah.
trooper.
It saw a cop.
I'm there. It was your accent that caught me, I guess.
Wait, let me try it again, Vince. Let me translate it to Canadian.
Okay, because I was wondering if there's like a vacuum tube trooper, solid state trooper, vacuum tube.
I get that now. Yeah.
That's where I was going with this.
Vince, the temperature dropped like it saw the RCMP on the highway. Okay.
Thank you. Like the Rainbow Horseman.
That's it.
Hey Shane. So listen, after you get broken out of your hovel, what you want to do is you want to take your hovel and re-level it so that the back is an inch lower than the front, and that the side away from the door is an inch lower or half an inch lower than the side where the door is. Because I had that exact same thing happen to me in my 3-season trailer when I got snowed in, because there was almost no insulation in the roof. And so all the heat, and we could only get the inside of that damn trailer to 62 degrees for the 6 weeks we lived in it. It was so much fun. So the roof, like all the heat was being lost through the roof, all the water was melting, and it would come down the sides and it would freeze on the aluminum door frame. And so as soon as I re-leveled the trailer so that the water shed off the back opposite corner, I never got frozen in again.
I can't. And there's like nothing you can do.
No.
45, I hope you got a good toilet in there, son, and some bread and milk. I'm just saying.
Maybe a hairdryer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we were going through 10 pounds of propane a day.
Wow.
Trying to keep that trailer, trying to keep it warm. And I was between paychecks. I had just moved back to Western Canada. And here I am. I've got like $10 in the bank, or I've got $30 in the bank. and I had to go to Walmart to buy an electric heater because I swore the dogs would not turn into popsicles ever again under my watch. Because we came back to that trailer after a bit of grocery shopping, and I hear the furnace running as we're pulling up to it. And oh my gosh, the dogs are cold, but they're very happy to see us. And the propane had run out. So immediately run for propane, come back with one bottle, immediately run to Walmart, grab the cheapest electric heater I could find. And we just left that electric heater plugged in the whole time because I wasn't paying for electric. I was glad it was only 6 weeks doing that until we moved into this house.
Oh, man.
No fun at all.
I mean, I grew up in the Chicago area, so we had, plenty of cold winters.
Yeah.
I think 77 or 78. I can't remember which. I think it was 77. It was the daily high was like -2 or something. If it got to 0, all the Illinois rednecks were like, oh my God, it's a heat wave. I was taking the car battery in the house every night.
Yeah, the wind coming off that lake is no joke.
Yeah.
I took a business trip out there to, there's a Coke plant on the shore of the lake. And you walking down the line of Coke furnaces, and it's, minus 150 coming off the lake. And it's 3,000 coming off the ovens where they're making and you're walking down there just spinning around like a rotisserie chicken.
Freddie, what have you got? You said you had a picture or two.
I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh, on Discord. Okay.
Yeah, you DM on Discord. I woke up this morning to 10 degrees and sideways snow. It's still snowing. And this is round 2 for us. We had about 4 to 6 inches of snow drifts of a 12 inches yesterday, and now everywhere is 12 inches. These pictures are from yesterday. I haven't taken any today.
And where are you at, Freddie?
Just south of Tulsa, Oklahoma, about 45 miles.
Wow.
Right there at I-40 and US 75. Home of Troy Aikman and Jim Shoulders, 2 famous world cowboys.
That's
2
right.
world famous cowboys. It's freaking cold here, dude.
That's a lot of damn snow.
Well, and you can see Cousin Eddie there in the background, but
right.
It was
tenement on wheels.
Yeah, I tell you, he's on the way out. Poor guy. It's not a bad little gym sock of a travel trailer. Looks really good on the inside, but the outside just got pummeled with hail twice.
Is it bigger on the inside?
Sure. No.
So did any of you guys do winter field day yesterday at all?
No.
Canceled ours.
No, I was hoping to go out today, but said wind chill may prevent me. Now I want to go sit at a picnic table somewhere. I don't care how cold it is. As Jim Williams, N4JAW says, there's nothing as too cold weather. There's only poor clothing choices. And so now I have I bought a pair of ski pants. I haven't skied in 25 years, but I went and bought a pair of ski pants to stay warm. And they're damn good. They were great at Costco, $45 or whatever, $30 for y'all down south.
Look at you throwing in a y'all. Very good.
Oh, that's Alberta normal.
Okay.
We're just Oklahoma North is all.
You didn't catch my greeting to everybody in the chat. Good morning, good after evening, noon, y'all.
I did not see that. I would have commented on that. I got the
is
Canadian saying y'all.
That's awesome.
That's Alberta normal. So I'm really hoping I'll get out this afternoon. I'll go find a picnic table in a park somewhere. Go play winter field day. Now that I've got my KX2 kit complete, considering
Fancy.
I was doing a little bit of 3D print design last night to hold my RF adapters. So made a little box to hold them inside because I used to have like a little zipper thing, the toque fun. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody. Appreciate it. I always pronounce that toque, but then y'all pronounce it toque.
Toque.
You ever watched the McKenzie brothers in the 80s, Jim?
Yeah, I did, but I thought they spelled it TOOK or something. They just said it funny because they're Canadian. I didn't know.
TOUQUE is the full spelling of it. A U has been dropped there, but
Jody, I think you just said you can't spell. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but he can meme.
He can.
He makes up for it.
He can meme and fluent meme.
I did not do winter field day. I did some POTA hunting because I'm just not motivated to hook up a battery and sit out. Oh wait, I did. I made one field day contact.
Yeah.
Because the guy was doing a POTA and winter field day at the same time. So it was like a twofer thing or something.
Yeah, I played a little bit from home yesterday. I used my other call sign. So up in Canada, we can have as many call signs as we want. They're $60 a piece. I have my original call sign and now my two-lettered, which I had to wait 5 years to get. We have a full vanity system here, but there's some restrictions on it. Anyway, so I figured if I went out today, I'd use V6LK for recognition. So I used my old call from home yesterday to give out some contacts. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm logging them.
20 was, I mean, completely covered up with winter field day.
Yeah.
I didn't really look to see what the report was on the band. I never do. I just turn it on, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, I move on to something else kind of thing. But
yeah, I'm the same way. 10 meters. I was working guys on 10 yesterday, both on CW and phone.
I got 17. I got a couple of POTA contacts. I always say hunting because I don't want anyone to think that I was actually outside on the radio at a POTA, because there would be confusion among everyone. But yeah, I made some POTA contacts on 20 and some on 17. But it was really hard because people were jammed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our local club for a couple of years rented a cabin at the local state park for winter field day. So we could do a combo POTA winter field day, stay at the cabin, hang out. It was loads and loads of fun. But honestly, we quit doing it because we came to the conclusion that POTA is great by itself and winter field day is potentially great by itself. But trying to put the two together is a disaster.
Yep.
Trying to do POTA during winter field day or regular field day or CQ Worldwide, anything else, is mostly a mess because all the POTA people moved to the work bands.
Yeah. That's why I was trolling the work bands looking for the POTA people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was doing. Because I knew they wouldn't be on the work, or the WFD people wouldn't be on the work band, so I was over there. That's how I ended up on 17 getting some POTA contacts. Because you couldn't hear any, oh my God, there were some big contest stations running like there always are, right? And the guy, I swear, must have been six kilohertz wide. Because like, where the hell is he at? And I'm turning the knob, and I finally found him. I'm like, geez, dude.
So I'm getting instructions over here to throw a yins in with all the y'alls. But what you don't know is that I grew up in North Texas. So I'm in the y'all camp.
You're a y'all.
You don't have yins, right?
I was like, that accent don't say Pittsburgh, sir. No, sir.
You go over to Louisiana, you'll hear more yuns over there mixed with some y'alls.
Yuns and yins.
Well,
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah. YINZ.
Yontus.
Growing up I was born in Southern Illinois. We moved up north when I was very, very small. And up in Northern Illinois, it's you guys, occasionally yous guys, but mostly you guys. All my relatives live in Southern Illinois still, which I consider the South. Anything south of Champaign, Illinois is the South, as far as I was concerned. And they're Ewans or Yuns.
Yuns.
More a Y-U-N-Z thing. Yuns.
Yeah. My dad's side of the family is from mid-state, Pennsylvania Dutch country, and they're big on ewes.
Yeah, ewes.
That one gets me. I'm like, we are not a bunch of sheep, folks.
Oh, that's Southern Ontario too.
Ewes, huh?
And Western New York, around the west.
I was gonna say, I think ewes is more of a whole northeastern thing. Really?
Yeah. Well, there's a strip that's the middle of Pennsylvania, and it just goes north into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Where that apparently is the vernacular.
Yeah.
All right. Since we're having a vernacular discussion, I have a question to ask all of you.
Okay.
What do you call a carbonated beverage from a major carbonated beverage manufacturer, like the one with the red bottle or the one I normally drink or whatever? What do you call that, John?
So at home it was pop. Here it is soda.
Vince?
Pop.
Matt?
I guess generally it gets called soda around the household.
Freddie?
You want a Coke? Yeah. What kind? Dr. Pepper?
That's right. That's the Southern way. Everything is a Coke down here. Chicago area, it's pop. Southern Illinois, it's soda unless you're my grandpa, and then it was sody.
Can you highlight the comment from Del Fargus, please?
I got to find it first.
About 10 up, 12 up.
There you go.
Nope, not that one.
Not that one. Keep going
Who's
up.
guys.
It's a single word.
There is not an easy way to scroll back. I mean, I'm scrolling back. It's not an easy way to find a specific comment.
And Scout, I think that's universal. Guys is a plural term for humans, regardless of gender.
8:24 a.m. 10:24. I don't want to spoil it until it comes up on screen.
I'm translating.
I just scrolled back and saw it. That's funny.
It's one word.
I got the use guys Pennsylvania Dutch.
No, you got
It's just
too
above
far.
Bricker's comment.
Okay.
It's just above my most recent comment too.
I'm looking at 924 now.
All right,
Actually,
all right. So
I'm with
Well-
you, Hamnetics. The Soda Stream is the greatest thing ever invented.
Oh my.
yes,
I want to get one of those. I've never done that. I've thought
I don't
about
put
it.
any. I just drink carbonated water. I guess I'm getting to be a grumpy old man.
that's
But
all I've got here.
I
Carbonated
love
water.
it.
Yeah, see, that's what I would do is carbonated water. I give up. I can't find it, Vince. I don't.
His answer to what do y'all call a carbonated beverage? Beer.
Beer. Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. Beer. Sorry, I ruined
That's
the
for
moment.
That's for after.
No,
I mean,
that's-
it is like 9:30 in the morning, Dell.
Well,
so just calm down.
As somebody said in the chat earlier on, if you have to explain a joke, it's funnier.
Right. Well, and you know you have to explain a joke to a ham almost every time. Yeah, I don't have a Soda Stream, so you just do the carbonated fizz water, Matt?
Yep.
Does that
Yep.
replace your need for soda? Real soda?
Well, I don't have much of a sweet tooth to begin with. I was more of a like an iced tea, coffee kind of guy.
Totally. Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I knew I needed to be drinking more water, so okay, fine, we'll do that. And where I'm sitting right now, my office is second floor of a detached garage from the house. So to make coffee or tea or anything like that, I gotta like do 2 flights of stairs and go outside and everything else. The Soda Stream is sitting right here, so it's just easier.
Yeah,
Yep.
a bubbler. Sarah's talking about a bubbler. I had a girlfriend from Wisconsin. She called it a bubbler. I was like, what is a bubbler? She had moved down to Kankakee from the Milwaukee area or something like that. A bubbler.
Well, and it's real common if you travel anywhere in Europe or anywhere in South America, you go to a business conference where they have the bottles of water sitting on the table because you can't drink the tap water. There will be flat
water.
and carbonated.
Yep.
Everywhere you go. It's like a normal thing everywhere.
Wow.
else.
Yeah, Topo Chico and bubbly and that kind of stuff I like, but I've gotten a taste for ginger ale of late, and I've been drinking a lot of ginger ale.
Ginger ale is good.
I do a ginger ale like 2 or 3 a year. I do like a ginger ale every so often, usually with brown liquor in it. I'm just saying.
That's ruining the brown liquor, man. Just bring brown liquor straight like a man, and leave the ginger ale and brown liquor to the girls.
That's just to stretch out my brown liquor supply. That's all.
Oh,
I don't do that often. All right, next question. What about the thing you put your groceries in at the grocery store? What
That's
is that
cart.
called? Yes, Matt, I'm with you on that 100%. A cart?
Oh, the
Go
thing
get
with the thing with wheels, or the thing you hold in your hand?
No, not the thing with wheels.
Oh, okay. Cart.
John,
cart.
Freddie,
We go get a buggy.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say it.
Yeah.
Buggy.
Yep. We go get the buggies. Go get the buggies. Go bring the buggies back. I used to work at a
Another-
grocery store right out of high school. So yeah.
Another one I learned, and this was when I was dating she who could not be named, just in case she shows up.
Get the holy water out
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, a bucket of it.
and the garlic.
Yes. So we're over at her parents' house, and they lived in, and I'm not boning on anybody who lives in a trailer, okay? I'm not. So just calm down. They lived in a very old trailer out in the country. And we're over at her parents' house, and they were nice people. And at the time, I thought she was reasonably sane. and she was a ringer for Barbara Mandrell. So
Oh
I'm
my
in.
God,
I'm all in, baby.
dude.
I asked where, I don't know, she said something or her mother said something. They were talking about the bathroom, and her mother called it the commode. And I'm like, y'all bunch of Southern Alabama rednecks, a commode? A commode is what the king poops in. We're in a trailer in Autauga County, Alabama. Where's the toilet?
Turlet.
The toilet. Well, that was a specific story, John, and we can't really talk about that one on YouTube to the whole world because probably get
no, but
demonetized
Archie
on
Bunker
that.
used to call it the turlet.
Oh, did he?
The turlet.
Okay.
Yeah, the turlet.
Yeah, I remember that.
See, I never watched that show, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hamdalorian is in here. Hey, good to see you, man. Hadn't seen you in a while. Cart, homeless dude's mobile home. True that.
Totally. All over town.
Yeah,
And
I drink a
somebody's-
lot of iced tea. I think fizzy iced tea might be pretty good. I drink unsweet tea because I'm a Yankee, but I'll have to try that. Damn it, now I'm going to have to get on Amazon and buy one of those things this
When we
afternoon.
were prepping
Morning,
for the
Mike.
storm, we had Brenda likes iced tea, and I'll drink it occasionally. Usually, we're out to dinner. I'll have half and half tea, but she made 6 quarts. We were putting it in mason jars of iced tea, and we put it in the small refrigerator in what used to be my poker room, and it's now my bar. And I said, top shelf is the iced tea, bottom shelf is the apple pie. Do not get them confused.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got to ask, since we got a SodaStream collection here, I tried a couple of 1 or 2 of the knockoff replacement CO2 canister brands and came to the conclusion that the reason they're cheaper is because they got less gas in them.
That is absolutely true. I refill my own. So you can buy a refill kit and a CO2 bottle from a CO2 bottle place. And so they fill them up with 400 grams of CO2. That's just under a pound. I think it's about 13 ounces. I get about 275 grams in my fill, but I'm filling my own, and I fill it for a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Instead of spending 15 or 20 on a refill bottle in my currency. So subtract 40% for yours.
Yeah, I do that with the
it's
1
way easier.
pound propane cylinders for the Mr.
Sure.
Buddy heater
Sure.
too.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people do that. So that's how I manage mine. Because I'll drink 2 or 3 bottles a day of the stuff. It's all I drink. I mean,
Yeah.
I have the occasional decaf coffee. Life's no fun without alcohol and caffeine, but so I just manage it with sometimes a bit of flavoring in the water.
Yeah, I'm going for the dilute rather than replace theory, right? You'll pry my coffee out of my cold dead hands. So.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. I don't start a day with, this is my normal coffee loadout on any given day, a 20 ounce and a whatever this thing is. I carry this with me to work, and these are finished off by 9 or 9:30, and then I switch to soda.
Well, I had 3
The
cups
rest of the
this
day.
morning and switched over to the ginger ale for now, but I'm pretty much going to be done drinking for a bit here. And then I quit drinking beer back at Thanksgiving, and I just decided I didn't want the extra calories. I still drink my whiskey, but not the beer. So
I've never been much of a beer drinker. I mean, I have 2 PBRs in my fridge that I probably bought in a 4-pack like a year ago. I guess they're still good. I don't know. I mean, I drink 1 or 2 beers a year. And
As long as they stay in the fridge, you're probably good for a couple of years.
that was my logic on that.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 particular dinners that just scream you need it. Like if you spent all day
Mexican.
doing a rack of ribs or pulling a pork butt or something, like having a beer with that is just like you got to do it to do it right. But
Or a very
you
good
just
steak.
sit around and have something to drink. That's why they make bourbon.
When we go out to eat Mexican, I will always have a Dos Equis with my dinner at a Mexican restaurant. Always.
I like tequila. I really like tequila.
I don't like
no.
tequila.
Anybody who says they don't like tequila has not had good tequila, especially if you're a bourbon drinker. You like tequila. You just haven't had good tequila.
I've had good tequila. It just doesn't like me. My
Oh, well,
personality,
that could be.
my personality changes from bourbon. I'm okay. Tequila, you never know what you're going to get. And
Hamdo,
I
thank
am
you
a
for the 556 super
handful
chat. Appreciate it.
tequila.
So a while ago, Mike N2MAK and I, we did a fun video of beer pairings with hamvention food. And so Mike's in the chat, and I have put that video link in the comments. Hopefully that post, I don't have the magic wrench.
I had an incident when I was in college with tequila, and never again. That was in 1980. It's a long memory up there.
To be honest, the tequila that you were drinking at the time probably had a plastic sombrero for a lid.
It was hot garbage at a frat party. I don't know, and it was with orange juice, and there was this smoke show that was hanging out with me. So if I drink more, I will definitely have a good evening, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's a little bit like deciding whether or not you enjoy driving in a Ford Festiva.
Right.
Probably had 3 worms in it too.
Okay. Vince, I need to wrench you guys. I don't have. I mean, I think TO is the only wrench I got on here. Maybe I need to, and I can't do it. I can't do it in StreamYard. I have to go in the admin thing to do it. But I will.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will make a note of this.
You can do it from your live chat in YouTube.
So am I going to ruin the vibe if I ask an actual ham radio question?
No, please, please.
Vince, I'm just curious. You were holding up your KX2 kit.
Yeah, man.
What's your go-to antenna for that rig?
Depends on the circumstance. End-fed half wave, end-fed random wave, or dipole.
Yeah, that's my KX2 is paired with the random most of the time because the tuner built into that thing is so good,
crazy good,
right?
Yeah.
And you can get on more bands with less wire.
Yep.
So the KX2 is my motorcycle rig.
Yeah.
At least until I polish up the CW and move to the QMX. But
I've got an AX3 antenna as well from Elcraft, and sometimes I just bring the KX2 and the AX3 in a piece of feed line, and I'm done. Right, super low
without
impact.
Putting you on the spot, would if the AX3 broke, would you replace it?
Yes.
Okay.
No hesitation. Is it the most efficient antenna in the world? No. Is a buddy pole the most efficient antenna in the world? I'm not going to hate on buddy pole. No. Is a JPC 12? Like, pick your vertical.
Yeah.
Are they the most efficient? No, they're not. What makes a vertical antenna efficient? Raising the counterpoise wires off the ground. Okay, so KJ6ER, Greg, with his POTA Performer, POTA Destroyer, or whatever he calls it, the POTA Annihilator. I'm not making fun, I just can't remember. He's got it absolutely right. If you raise your counterpoise wires on a vertical, it makes all the difference in the world. Oh, and the feed point. And I proved this for myself. I was sitting in southern Ontario last September in a park bench, and I had my then KX3 out, and my AX3 was sitting on the park bench beside me. I was going for a low profile setup, and I ran out my 16 or 20 foot counterpoise wire, and I looked at my spots on the reverse beacon network, and I wasn't getting heard. And this is kind of unusual. I know people have me in my ham alert, in their ham alerts. Thank you so much. And usually I can get my 10 contacts inside of 15 minutes, even in tough conditions. Well, nobody was calling me back, and I looked at the reverse beacon network. I went, I'm only being heard in 2 places. I'm in southern Ontario. I'm on the eastern seaboard. I'm in the breadbasket of population. This should be like shooting fish in a barrel. So I took my counterpoise wire, and there were some bushes nearby, and I went and walked along the bushes and hung it at about 3 feet. And then I called again. I changed frequency. I moved up a couple, 0.2 kilohertz. And I called again, and all of a sudden, 12, 14 dB up. My signals became.
Well, so this is a pet peeve of mine, right? People use the term counterpoise because it hurts their own feelings to say crappy radio, right? If it's laying on the ground, it's a radial.
So when you're talking about elevating them,
one radial that is the shield of the coax that's as bad as your radial system could get.
Yep.
So you can either move from radials to counterpoise, which you can do with far less wire, or you could do what broadcast stations do and put down enough radials to make them effective.
Yeah.
like a mat kind of, I mean, a whole lot more than we would typically put out.
It doesn't take, right? I mean, if you're talking broadcast stations, right, they're broadcasting so much power, the efficiency matters. They'll do 256 tuned radials, whatever. You know, but you go back and you look at some of the research that Rudy Severns went in that Callum talks about with the DX Commander and how the law of diminishing returns kicks in.
Yeah.
16 to 32 radials, quarter wave.
Yeah. By the time you get
system.
up to my DX Commander, I have 6 bundles that have 5 wires in them on one alligator clip. So I stand there and I go shunk, 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 throw these bundles out in 5 or 6 directions, whatever it is. I end up with 30 radials. Takes me
about as good as you're going to get.
45 seconds to get the radials up on my DX Commander. And it works great.
Well, I can tell you from experience playing around with the phased verticals like I have been the last 2 years. I have raised up 4 foot off the ground with 2 counterpoise on 20 meters, 3 on each one. And I get about a half a dB to a dB more of gain out of that system than I do ground mounted. Now, ground mounted is, you know, so much easier to put down, but if you raise them up, we get more gain.
Yep.
So,
But you have to tune them, right?
yes.
And so when we talk about raising radials off the ground, Vince, this is for you, John, whoever, Matt, it doesn't matter. When you're talking about raising them, what constitutes raising them off the ground? For example, I did a Rybakov antenna, 25-foot element, and I have 4 radials. And the thing is literally what's on a fiberglass mast leaning in a magnolia tree. It's sitting on the ground, and the winder with the bits, the toroid and all that, is hanging about 3 or 4 inches off the ground. So when you're talking elevated, are you talking like a half a wavelength, a quarter of a wavelength? Are you talking 12 inches, 18 inches? Where does that start to come in for elevation?
3 feet.
3 feet? Okay.
Yeah. I have mine up at 4 feet coming at the antenna itself and down to about a foot above the ground.
I've done that too.
And it works really, really well.
I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, you need, I would say 2 is probably the minimum before you would look at an antenna and say, okay, this is an elevated antenna and an elevated counterpoise system. What you have to understand is that even if you take an antenna like the DX Commander and you set it up in the grass, right? The grass has your radial wire elevated from the actual earth itself by 2 inches or something, which actually cuts their effectiveness dramatically. There's a reason they like to build broadcast towers in swamps.
That no one lives there to complain.
Matters, but if you're anywhere in between that 0 to 2 foot range, you're sort of in no man's land, where your counterpoise wires are going to be, they're still counterpoise. They're not going to make a good electrical connection to the earth, but they're now close enough to be influenced by it. So getting them tuned correctly is going to be a disaster.
So an interesting idea has popped into my head. If I take this Rybakov, so take this thing and drag it up a couple feet, get the end point, because the end point now is, I don't know, 3-4 inches maybe off the ground. Drag it up to a couple 3 feet. The counterpoint, the radials, the radials, my crappy ground radials, will be hanging in a teepee. So instead of that, I'm thinking about getting a stake and then dragging them things out to get them flat too. I don't know if that would, it makes me want to go out and play with it in the rain today almost.
The problem you're going to have with that, Jim, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, with the Rybakov, it's multi-banded and you don't have anything that's tuned to a specific band.
Correct.
So they may not operate the way you think they're going to operate.
I don't know. It was an idea.
You can, right? You can take the same theory that allows Callum to build the multi-band vertical and do multiple sets of tuned counterpoise wires.
Sure. Yeah.
For a multi-band antenna. It's just at some point, right? T.O. says this all the time, right? There's the theory of what would be perfect, and then there's the reality of what makes contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So if your counterpoise is like counterpoise for a while and then it lands on the ground and technically it's a radial, that's not ideal. And it's hard to mathematically, if you wanted to model it, it would be a real challenge because now you have this hybrid in between thing.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it won't make contacts. For me, I look at the radial system on the DX Commander, and I'm out here in the country. I got acreage. It's no problem for me. For the permanent one, I think there's 64 radials on there, and they are a country mile long. I bought 1,000-foot spool of invisible fence wire and just turned it all into radials.
Okay, cool.
Would it be a more efficient antenna if the whole thing were elevated? Maybe. I got enough radials. I think it's a maybe at that point. But who the hell wants to mow the grass around 127 radials that are up in the air on posts?
Absolutely.
At some point, that half a dB is just not worth it.
That practical difference, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, for 1 dB, it's not worth the effort you have to do to build it that way, right? It's much easier just throw the radials on the ground and run with the way it is. I mean, 3 dB gets you half an S unit, 6 dB gets you an S unit. 1 dB, is it noticeable? No. I mean, my field strength meter shows it, but
right.
Hey, I don't know that anybody's hearing me any better.
Well, those practical considerations. I mean, I go back to ham radio and commercial broadcast are not the same thing, right? They're sitting on one frequency and running power levels we'll never see.
Yeah,
but the reality is, you're going to be hard pressed to find a commercial AM or FM broadcast station that doesn't have a vertical with buried radials.
Right.
That's how they build them.
Right.
And they care about efficiency. They care a lot.
Right. Because they're spending so much money on power.
Right.
To get that out, you have to squeeze every 10th, 100th of a dB out of that system as you can for how much money you're paying in power.
Dale sounds like he has personal experience with that.
Mine's well buried out there today, and it worked perfectly fine on the 40-meter EMS net this morning. So,
all right, I hate to move us off the radial discussion because I'm actually really interested in that, but I have a few things I need to share, and then we can get right back to it. This popped up this morning. This is just the cool factor on this is high. So he's got a 2730. I thought that was the jazziest thing I've ever seen. And he apparently said, no, I'm not going to buy a mount for my radio. I'm going to build a containment vessel for it.
That's totally what that is. Isn't that awesome?
That is. I thought that was the schniz. Cal has, and this, I don't have his thumbnail up. I've got Cal's face, but Cal dropped a really interesting video this morning that everybody should go look since we're talking about antennas and radials. He whipped together, not even a Rybakov, he whipped together a bare bones workshop trash vertical that he was doing a great job with. And I think the video's worth watching. I dropped a link in the chat, but y'all just go look for Homebrew Tree Vertical from DX Commander.
He did on 20 meters. It's really, really good video.
Yeah. And I mean, like literally, he built it out of trash in his workshop. It was not scienced at all. There was, believe it or not, Cal wasn't even drawing, his Cal pictures about wavelengths and everything. He just whipped this thing together and chucked it up in the air.
Well, you build enough of these things like he has, you could do everything in your head.
It's witchcraft. That's right. I just thought this was cool. This is a hell of a satellite setup here. And I guess this guy's got a motor on this. It doesn't.
Yeah, you can see the Azel in the middle.
There it is. Yep. There it is. I thought this man is, and he must not have a girlfriend or a wife in that house. I'm just saying, because if I set that up in our front yard, I would be sleeping in my shop for quite a while.
That's portable, Jim. He probably puts it up and takes it down.
Yeah, he probably does. But I mean, even if she saw that, the drama that would ensue.
Yeah. There's a couple guys in our club.
If I put up a thing like that, my wife gets all stoked because she knows I'm going to be out of the house for hours.
That's because your boyfriend is coming over?
Wow. Hang on to
that. Yeah, I thought that was just a really nice setup. that was a really cool If that man can't get a satellite contact, forget about it.
Yeah. Going back to Callum's trash antenna that he built, Danny Davis from Broken Signal and I and Matt Crook, the SC ARL section manager, did that video where we had boxes of trash. Danny gave us time to build antennas. That was a lot of fun, and we're trying to do a follow-up to that. It's just getting our schedules aligned. But I ended up building a trash Rybakov and made contacts. I had DX contacts to Italy, and it was crazy.
Yeah, that's what I've got right now. I whipped together a Rybakov. I used speaker wire to wrap the toroid because I hate magnet wire.
Yeah.
And the speaker wire's got a red stripe on it, so I know which the hell side is which side as I'm keeping this thing going, right?
Yep.
And I think I did, I don't remember, 10 or 12 turns, and it's working great. I've got it hooked to the Yaesu, this FT1000 I bought used through Boston Johnny going to a ham fest. And I'm running 200 watts through it. It's what am I using? A 240-61 toroid on it. And it hasn't melted, so bonus. Now, I've only been using it like on, 20, 15, 17, 12, those. I haven't
There's
done
a
40
channel
on it.
that I subscribed to a while. It's Fez Electronics, FESZ Electronics.
Yep. Okay.
And he did a video within the last week or two on what he calls the sleeve dipole. It's the idea that you're going to make your dipole with your standard wire, whatever, top conductor, but the bottom conductor is going to be some sort of copper pipe that will allow you to run the coax up inside the bottom of the dipole.
Okay.
And he ended up doing his for an ADS-B receiver, right? So it's 1.1 gigahertz, a real tiny thing. He 3D printed something cool for it, none of which would be practical on 20 meters. But it's still a cool idea.
Something like that might work for 10, though, fairly easily.
Yeah, well, and just in general, we talk so much about verticals and counterpoise versus radials and blah, blah, this, that, and the other thing. And people forget that you can put a dipole up vertically.
Yeah,
and
totally.
You don't have to worry about any of it.
Yeah.
The only thing is trying to get that feed point off at 90 degrees. That's the trick, because if it starts to lay up against the wire, it just droops down. You get some interaction there, and it does.
So that's the cool part of the sleeve dipole, though.
Yeah.
Right, the feed line
sleeve
runs right up the middle, and the other half of the antenna sits around it like this.
Right.
Man,
Right.
if you've got a link to that, we could pop it up and take a quick look at it.
That's a cool design.
This is Joe Brett's house this morning. This is a video from Joe I got, I don't know, about 7 or 7:30.
Yikes.
Good. I hate that.
And he said he's texted me since then. He said they still have more coming. They're not done. Now, he's only 250 miles away, and there's like a 30 or 40 degree temperature difference between Joe's house and mine.
Yeah, you're on the other side of the front, the warm side of the front. Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge U-shaped warm spot that pushed up through almost all of Alabama, except for them poor guys, up in Huntsville, Florence, and North Alabama. But yeah, I don't know when he's going to have power back.
Jim.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at the radar. You're about to get it if you don't have it already.
It's been drizzling here on and off all morning. It was drizzling last night some, not
This is
tremendously,
the heavy
but
Dang.
bless his heart. That's what we'd also say in the South,
Exactly.
which can be used in multiple ways.
Yes.
If John trips over his own feet as he's walking, I would say bless his heart, which means what a goober doofus he is.
Guilty.
And in Joe Brett's case, with ice all over everything and no electricity, bless his heart. Like, I feel sorry for the brother.
Yeah. Ain't nothing they can do about it right now.
Yeah. Well,
Freddie,
good
you
thing,
got
though-
power, so bonus on you at this point.
I got power, and my internet has been going in and out through this whole stream. But
I saw you freeze a couple times, so I wasn't sure if that was a seizure or at your age,
it's pretty normal.
Are you supposed to get ice or just snow?
We were supposed to get ice, but now they're saying we first snow, and now we've got the sleet and snow, and then by 3:00 this afternoon, it's supposed to really start leveling off, but it's going to be cold till like Wednesday before it starts getting below freezing.
I'll take snow. I'll take a foot of snow
over that freaking ice.
Over ice any day. Yeah.
Is.
Yeah. Chris Polos, this is an interesting 70-degree swing in temperature across Texas yesterday. Oh, it's 30 or 40 in Alabama right now.
705 miles across Texas.
Well, right. That's like 2 Alabamas laid end to end. Exactly. Yeah. Or 1.75 Illinois.
That's one of my favorite road signs ever when you're coming into Texas on 10 from Louisiana, right? And then they've got the sign there that says Orange or whatever the first town is like 2 miles, and El Paso 9,045,000,000 or clear to the other end of the state.
Scout has got the way. Did you winter field day yesterday, Scout? You have a shelter or something outside, don't you? Yeah. The subtle difference between "oh, bless your heart" and "oh, man, bless your heart." Yeah. But it's all context too, you know? Like I said, if John falls down and it's funny, bless your heart.
Yeah, but I bounce. I'm a bumble. I bounce.
And brother Dave is in Texas, 22 degrees with ice over everything. Not supposed to happen in South Texas.
Yeah, no shit.
That is rough.
And ice is not supposed to happen anywhere.
Yeah, no kidding. And there's another storm apparently spooling up, moving toward us for next weekend.
Well, this is how I know I'm turning into an old man, right? Because I spent the whole week watching weather stuff.
Same here, brother.
So
thank God. I thought you were going to say you had to get up several times in the middle of the night. Sorry.
Well, that's a given. That's a given. Coffee, brown liquor, in mid-50s. You ain't making it through the night. So I've been watching the guy Ryan Hall, right, on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, and I was loving his explanation that this is such a mess, and it's been so hard to predict because it's not really a storm in the classic sense, right? That your average storm is a low pressure system that comes along and does whatever it's going to do, you know, up to and including being a hurricane. They talk about how low did the pressure go, and that this is the high pressure, right, that has come down from Canada and brought all this cold Arctic air that just hung around long enough and went far enough south to run into the moisture from the Gulf that's just always there. And that pattern isn't changing. Like we're talking about this storm and it's going to go through and whatever else, but the high pressure and the cold is still there and the Gulf is still there. Like there's nothing to prevent this from just happening over and over again until that high moves on.
Yeah.
We got 2 lows and a high above it, and it's all just coming together.
Yeah. It's
and you watch too much Weather Channel, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't watch Weather Channel anymore. I mean, I watch Ryan Hall, and I've been watching Max Velocity for this go round. And
we've got a local forecaster here, Brad Panovich, who is very, very good, and he does a wonderful job explaining stuff, and he's kind of a space nerd like I am, so but he's just local to Charlotte, so he's not going to give you the big regional kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have Alabama Weather Network, which is out of Birmingham, I think, and there's 3 or 4 meteorologists, including this one guy who's really good. He's been around probably as long as I've lived in Alabama. He's been doing weather. So they basically just cover Alabama. But yeah. So I got my local flavor or regional flavor, and then I've been watching Max, and that guy, I'm telling you, if you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, do not do ham radio. Go into weather. Brother had like 30,000, 27,000, I don't know, people watching him live and throwing super chats at him. I mean, the ad revenue, forget the super chats, the ad revenue is probably stupid.
I'm so mad at myself, right? Because I was definitely old enough to start a thing like that when everybody who's big doing it now was 4.
Right? I hate that I waited to get my ham license so long, right? Yeah. Or 3D printers. 3D printers is also a good gig because those channels go from 12 subscribers to 117,000 in like 3 days.
I upgraded.
What'd you get?
The artillery finally died.
She's gone.
it's out. So we're on the bamboo wagon now. I got a
Very
P2S.
Very good. Oh, that's the nice screen on the
I
P2S.
really looked hard at that H series because I'm going smaller with the bed. The artillery was a 300 by 300 bed, and this is 250 and change. But I just don't see myself printing engineering filaments often enough to justify the cost of a monster like that. So
right. Yeah. Well, it's weird. I have had at one point, not in possession at one time, but I'm think I'm about 8 or 9 3D printers in at this point.
Wow.
But I've also rehomed 3 of those, and no, 4 of them. So I have 5. I have 5 in possession. I'm under the bag limit for 3D printers at this point. But yeah, I've ended up. I gave one to Joe Brett. I gave one to one of the chuckleheads at work in IT. That was my Creality Ender 3 V2, which I think had demons in it, personally. Because it would print a test print just fine, and then you actually try to print something on it, then it would find a new and unique way to screw up.
Yes.
And then I had a longer 3D, which is, Matt, it's similar. I think it was similar to that artillery you're talking about. It had a honking great bed on it. It's like 330, I think, or something like that. And it
that was
prints great.
The only real complaint with that Sidewinder was that the bed, it was nice to have the big bed, but it was not anything resembling flat. So I had to, get the BL Touch and put it on there and get the firmware to do the auto bed leveling. And I got it within, the problem is it was off by maybe 0.3, 0.35 millimeters from point A to point B, which is more than a layer height.
Yeah.
So it made getting, it was fine for PLA, right? PLA will stick to anything.
Right.
But you wanted to start printing with other filaments, and adhesion became a real problem. So
yeah, I rehomed the longer, and it's still printing. The kid, I gave it to the HR lady's kid. And I also had one of those the Delta printers, the FL Sun Super Racer.
Oh, never seen one of them in person.
It prints. It was good.
Cool idea.
Yeah. It's kind of scary to watch at times because there's a lot of crap moving at one time, unlike, the longer, which is the speed of an Ender 3. But the longer is a good printer. The kid is still using both of them. It's not fast, but with that big bed, and it's glass. But the thing about that one is, I don't know if I made it on a day when no one was hungover at work, but I never had to screw with leveling it more than the initial tweak, and then I was done and never touched it ever again in the 3 years I was using it.
Yeah. Well, this P2S, this thing is so fast. I've actually been manually slowing it down a little bit. I ditched Bamboo Studio. I went immediately to Orca. Put the thing in LAN only mode. But I've been running at about 70-80% of the default speeds because it moves, especially on travel. It goes on a long travel. That pen gets going so fast. The whole printer starts to go like this on its rubber feet. And I just, I don't need the case for my 891 mic breakout box that badly. Wait
right.
5 minutes.
One of mine is a Creality K1, the original Creality Core XY one, and it works fine. And it's like that. I've got shock absorbent feet on it, and I really feel that I need to move it to a solid granite stone and then strap it down with cables or something. Yeah. Because every time when it prints, it scares the crap out of me because it's shaking the table. I mean, everybody.
A club buddy has the P1S, and he found there's a out on Maker Studio, there's a design for thrust bearing feet.
Okay.
That the innards of them are TPU, and then the outside is just whatever plastic you want to. So you've got a thrust bearing and then essentially a TPU shock absorber inside of a otherwise foot.
That's what I got. That's what's on the
his
K1.
Thrust bearings came in an 8-pack, so he used 4 of them and gave me the other 4. So I guess I'll print that and see what I think. But
I mean, Voxel PLA, which they sell filament. They came out with some, and they were selling them for specific printers. I didn't realize exactly what it was, but I grabbed them because at that time the K1 would damn near fly off the table. And they work. I got a set of them for the K1, and it helps it a lot. I'm not worried about the table collapsing or the printer ending up in the next room, but they do okay. And like you said, the design is out there. It's pretty simple design. It's TPU innards and PLA outwards, and
yeah,
it absorbs it. But yeah, I love 3D printing. I have, I'm not printing stuff to sell generally. I will print stuff for people if they ask, but I just enjoy printing stuff. Most of it worthless stuff, but
it's very helpful to have around a 3D printer. And last night I was trying to fit all of my field RF adapters. Here's just a small sampling of them, which
you got?
Which I used to carry around in this bag. And so this is part of my Field Go kit. And let me show you what I did with it here. So I was holding up this bag earlier, and so I had to do the math on. Pardon me while I get it set up here.
Okay.
I had to do the math on how many cubic centimeters the bag was that was holding my adapters. And so what I landed up with was instead of, this Ziploc bag this zipper bag that used to hold all of them, I went and just designed a simple box that dropped into my KX2 bag and printed it last night. So there's 3 feet and 5 feet of feed line. There's my universal antenna, and I have many videos showing that a dummy load does make an antenna. It doesn't make a great antenna, but it can get used in a pinch. My common mode current choke from Tufton, and a pile of other stuff, mostly BNC adapters. What are these things in here? Oh yes, these are from N6ARA from ARA.
Yeah, that's
common
honestly
mode choke and a tiny SWR, mini SWR. This is the perfect reason to have a 3D printer at your disposal and learn a little bit of Tinkercad or something simple. I designed that box in Tinkercad. It took me 5 minutes. Yeah.
My design skills are at the level of I can make a circle and a square, but there are, if you're not a designer, and I'm not yet, I'm working on it, but there are a ton of, and Vince has got a great point. That is absolutely great. There are a ton of box designs. This is available on Thingiverse, I think is where I got it from. And this is parametric. So you can literally print the box with a lid that it fits in a rabbited joint, and there's your box for whatever size you want. You can set the height, the depth, width, and then print it. And I had this one laying around. I repurposed from something else, and I've got my USB cable tester in it. So I can throw it in a drawer, and I don't worry about the cable tester getting, dorked up. And if I need to print another box for something, I can fairly easily. This is great for doing stuff like that. And then
totally
chip clips, instead of, it's not a big one, but I think I like mine that I printed better than the clothespins that she uses. Just saying.
I use alligator clips.
Okay.
There's always some around. Or roach clips, depending on where you live.
Alligator clips are the best. That's how the radial's attached to my portable DX Commander.
You mentioned that earlier, and I'm kicking myself because what I did is I bought some spade terminal to banana plug jumpers. And so I have the spade end screwed down with pliers to the DX Commander, and then all the radio bundles have a banana plug. So when the lawn guy decides he feels the need to weed eat around the antenna, hopefully it snatches out of the banana plug instead of pulling everything down. Ask me how I know.
Yeah,
but I like the alligator clips.
Well, for portable, I don't know that I'd do it
permanent.
On the permanent one, I bought some heavy duty aluminum cookie sheets from Amazon. I cut a hole in the middle of one of them, and all my radials are actually attached to the cookie sheet.
Okay.
Which then attaches to the Commander itself.
I like that.
As a braid, it saves me from having to, disconnect 64 radials if I want to take the pole down.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like
It
that.
also means
That's
the
awesome.
radios are not actually connected to the antenna directly. So
What size cookie sheet? Like the longer one or the mid-size guy?
whatever, your standard cookie sheet. It doesn't really matter. I don't think what
Your
size.
standard.
It was just honestly, it was the single cheapest way to get a big old hunk of aluminum.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If you call up the local metal supply place and tell them I want a 2-foot square hunk of aluminum, they're going to charge you $100. And Amazon will send you 2 cookie sheets for $12.99.
Yeah. I actually have a couple of, they're not the really longer ones. They're the mid-size ones. That's a standard size, I guess. I don't know what the hell it is. And they're great for mag mount antennas in a portable situation.
I got the live snow cam working.
Look at the snow.
That's like a Rockwell postcard there, man.
It's pretty out there. It's real pretty out there. Unfortunately, I don't have a window that faces the DX Commander. That would have been a more appropriate background, but
right. Oh man. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do the radials. I like the cookie sheet thing though. Because like you, that's every time I need to take it down for maintenance or I want to tweak something on it, I'm down there pulling radials off of it so I can get the pole down, and it's a giant pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I did learn an important safety tip recently, though. I bought a Venture kit, and I put it together, and it's actually in the front yard. Don't tell my wife. And I thought, I don't want the radials to come off. So instead of using spade terminals, I'm going to use ring terminals. That's a great idea. They won't come off. So now if I need to move that pole, which I've already had to play with the elements a couple times, I have to unscrew the bolts all the way to get the damn radials off of it.
Yeah.
Bad idea, Jim.
I used fork connectors for all the radials, and they're crimped. They're good crimps, but they're not soldered. Now my radials are all very, very buried at this point. They've been out there for years, and the grass has grown over them, whatever. But the idea was, if a rototiller or the utility company or something gets tangled up in one, I don't want it to be too secure. Right. I need a good electrical connection, but it doesn't have to, tether down the Atlas V rocket.
Right. Well, that was my idea with the banana plug thing, right? When he catches it with the weed, even though I have it marked off, and I said, just leave it alone. Don't mow that. Don't weed eat it. Don't look at it. Stay away from it.
Yeah.
I think he feels the need to get right up to the boundary.
Is a good idea. Cookie sheets and fork terminals are cheap, and banana plugs are more expensive. So
you just have the one wire going from the cookie sheet. Did you use the radial adapter at all with the DX, the Cal's radial plate?
Well, yeah,
or did you just go?
You have to, because that's where the SO239 mounts.
Right.
Is technically on the ground plate. So the DX Commander is completely unaltered. It's just that instead of all the radials attaching to that bottom plate, there's actually 2 big, wide, like 1-inch braids that go from that plate down to the cookie sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at Callum's video for his Nebula, he has a piece of aluminum down below, and he's got braid coming down to that, so he can take that antenna up and down without having to take all the radials out.
Yeah, well, and I'll fess up. I came up with this plan at the point where I had gone along and kind of tapped my radials down just loosely into the dirt so they would stay put. And I realized that in the process of doing that, I had pulled 3 or 4 of them far enough that they weren't going to reach the plate on the Commander anymore.
Oh.
So the cookie sheet gave me a much wider area to drill holes and put fork terminals, and it looks like a 4-year-old put the radial holes in the cookie sheet because they're just wherever the end of the wire happened to end up. But the RF doesn't care.
Yeah, RF.
One big
RF,
plane at
to
that
quote
point
the man.
in time.
Yep.
Yeah. I posted by the way, I meant to do this earlier. I'm posting the link. That is the sleeve dipole video that I just dropped a link to in the chat.
Thanks.
That Matt was talking about. And then John, did you post a link for your video that you were telling me about? Yes, I haven't watched it yet. I've got it saved, but I had
the one about the tune cables.
the tune cable thing.
Did not post it, but I will do that real quick.
If you want to drop that in there too. Vince, I have wrenched you. I haven't found Freddie Mac and Matt in the chat yet to wrench them in the other chat. But
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you so much.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
well, I actually need more because I'm like I said, I only have like T.O. and I think I have Andy Cowley, and that was about it. That's in here. Anyway, I think we need to wrap up. Shoot, it's 10:15, and I'm sure one of us at least has a bladder that needs to be emptied.
If not, there's more snow to shovel.
Matt has snow to shovel. I have 47 ounces of coffee I need to, get rid of at some point.
47?
Yeah, I might be exaggerating a little bit. And Vince dropped a link to Matt's channel.
I'm dropping a link to everybody's channel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vince.
And speaking of Matt's channel, I want to give Matt some props because I've mentioned this before to him. His video about putting up and taking down a DX Commander is inspiring. And if you haven't ever seen it and you're thinking about getting a DX Commander, great video. Because he's a geezer like us. And I was like, and he didn't pass out doing that. That's great.
Decides to start making a horrible racket.
And thanks, Freddie. I reached 700 with you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The 700 Club.
John can be in the underpaid, overworked YouTuber ham club now.
Yep.
John, did I list the right channel for you?
Let's see.
From the Ham Shack with NJ?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yep, you got me. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Dale, we are not professional streamers. I'm not.
Oh, hell no.
I'm not keeping a Gatorade bottle.
It's okay.
We're lucky something's not on fire by now.
Right. Exactly.
Those Depends work really, really well.
Right?
Totally.
I mean, astronauts use them, so it's not unmanly to sit here in a diaper that you know of.
John
Little
Glenn
aid.
did it. We can do it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, by the way, I don't have it out. I was going to show it, but I didn't get the box open. I'll have a couple videos coming out in the next several weeks on the RF Explorer. It's been loaned to me by Meshtastic Dave and Seed Studio, so I want to thank them while they're here. It is a handheld spectrum analyzer and does a whole bunch of cool stuff, and I am looking forward to getting my hands on it and playing with it, and I will share that with everybody. It is, I can't remember, I think it's about $400. It's more than a Tiny SA Ultra by a little bit. And then there are options that you can get for the RF Explorer to add some extra functionality kind of thing. But I'm not doing a comparison between it and the Tiny SA or it and my Siglent Spectrum Analyzer because they're not the same thing. It's like comparing a Pinto and a Rolls Royce. They're both cars. That stops there at the comparisons, right? But anyway, I'm looking forward to doing it. And when I say Pinto, Dave, I don't mean that the RF Explorer is a Pinto. I'm sure it won't explode when you hit the gas tank. So that'll be coming out. I want to thank everybody. I blew through 10,000 last week. I'm like 10,011 now or something the last time I looked. So
yeah, I did too.
That's awesome.
I did too.
Right? Whoever, did you get it, Freddie?
I did. I got over 10,000.
Freddie.
Sweet. Me and Freddie are like right together. It took Freddie much less time to get there. So I hear he's a little fast. Just saying. Took me 4 years, but
I am on my third marriage.
maybe there's a reason.
Yikes. Not going there.
I know we gave away Baofangs, the pair of Baofang minis, either last week on my show or on Nuggets or something in the last couple weeks. And I have to go back and figure out who got them. But you should have them by now. And if you're watching, ping me in the chat because you don't have your antennas.
Oops.
Well, they have these things in the box like this, right? So when you open the box lid, the antennas explode
they jump
out.
out at you. And
I wanted to keep them in the box when I wasn't messing with them, right? So I took the antennas out because it kept scaring me and the cat. She's sitting on the table. Scaring me is just like, whoa. Scaring the cat involves claws, teeth, and screeching. So I really try to avoid that. Anyway, you're missing your antennas. And I know I'll find out who you are because I have it somewhere. I just got to scroll back and look. But
Pirate
I have
ship,
your
look.
antennas. Sir?
Look at your pirate ship.
Well, yeah, but I also sent out other stuff too because we gave away a Zbit X last week.
Oh, that's true.
My pirate ship is full of people who got stuff.
I got you.
It's one of the, but I can narrow it down to 3 people. So
There you go.
I'll figure it out. Anyway,
good excuse to go build yourself a ladder line J-pole or something.
Yeah.
right. I want to build a trash antenna like Cal did. I don't know that I have any metal pipe like that, but I want to mess with that. And then Mike, MRD Mike, K at MRD, dropped a video the other day. He did a knockoff build on the, what is it, the Soda Beams band hopper. And he didn't really show a lot of use on it. He went through building it and getting it deployed. And I assume he's going to have another video with it. But I thought that was interesting. I don't know that I have any place to hang an 80-meter antenna that's convenient, but because I'm surrounded by power lines on 3 sides in this house. But, you know, I thought that was an interesting build. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming. All my co-hosts. I went from 0 to holy moly.
It's fun. Thank
How
you. for inviting
appropriate.
us.
Holy moly.
Yeah, holy moly. I see what I did there. I didn't even mean
How
to do that,
appropriate.
Vince.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And thank
Straight-
you all for coming, and try and stay warm, and please stay safe, and we'll see you guys. I'll be tomorrow night on Nuggets. I don't know what T.O.'s doing right now. He's leaving Quartzfest, the last I heard. So he's journeying back 3 or 4 hours to wherever his wife and the trailer are parked. But
Done
I
selling
think we're having,
batteries.
and not selling batteries anymore. Yeah.
Not selling.
I think he's worn out with selling batteries. I don't know. They make him load them in the truck. I'm like, he's an old guy. Why is he loading the batteries? Anyway, I'm going to hit the button. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. See ya.
73.
7-3, everyone.
7-3.
Button engaging.